Welcome to the Health, Balance, Wellness channel. Your haven of peace. Many people avoid garlic because of its strong odor, pungent taste, and the bad breath it leaves after consuming it. However, these feared characteristics are closely linked to its beneficial power for health. Scientific research has now clearly demonstrated that the sulfur compounds contained in garlic, among which allicin stands out, are able to provide significant benefits to our body. These compounds are effective against infections and inflammation, help manage diabetes, and show significant potential in preventing certain forms of cancer, particularly those affecting the liver, esophagus, stomach, breast, and colon. But that's not all. Garlic also helps regulate cholesterol levels and can lower blood pressure, thus reducing the risk of cardiovascular disease. With such a rich nutritional profile and a millenary history both in cooking and in traditional medicine, garlic should occupy an important place in our diet. However, there is a big but: many people do not get all the benefits because they use it in the wrong way. It is easy to fall into common mistakes that nullify, or almost, its effectiveness. Let's look at the 8 most common mistakes that are made when consuming garlic and how to avoid them, so as to truly exploit all its therapeutic potential. But first I ask you to give a like to support our work. But let's look at the mistakes to avoid. Cooking garlic too long or at high temperatures. One of the most common mistakes is cooking garlic for too long or at too high a temperature. When a certain temperature threshold is exceeded, approximately 60 degrees Celsius, many of the beneficial compounds present in garlic, especially allicin, degrade. Allicin is a compound that forms when garlic is crushed or minced, thanks to the reaction between two substances, allicin and allinase. However, it is very sensitive to heat. To avoid losing the active ingredients, it is advisable to add garlic to preparations at the end of cooking, so as to preserve its healthy properties. If you cook it for a long time, the therapeutic effect drops drastically. Eat it whole without chewing or crushing it. Another very common mistake is to consume whole garlic cloves. Although it may seem like a quick and practical choice, it is actually counterproductive. When garlic is not chewed, cut or minced, the enzyme that allows the formation of allicin is not activated. Therefore, ingesting it whole means greatly reducing its beneficial potential. To get the most benefits, it is essential to mince or crush the garlic before taking it. This ensures the activation of the most important compounds. Use already peeled or powdered garlic. For convenience, many people buy garlic already peeled or in powder form. Unfortunately, these forms of garlic are less effective. Industrial processing, in fact, compromises freshness and drastically reduces the amount of active ingredients. Fresh, untreated garlic retains a much higher content of useful substances. On the contrary, peeled garlic, especially if packaged, can deteriorate quickly and also become a vehicle for mold or bacteria, in addition to losing flavor and active ingredients. Do not wash garlic before use. Although not among the most commonly washed vegetables, garlic can also contain pesticide residue, dust, bacteria, or dirt on its surface. Failure to wash it means risking cross-contamination with other foods or utensils. Simply running it under running water will remove these impurities. This practice becomes even more important when using non-organic garlic, which may contain more pesticides. A simple rinse can make a big difference in terms of food hygiene. Storing garlic the wrong way. Proper storage is essential to maintain the beneficial properties of garlic. The best place to store it is in a cool, dry and well-ventilated place, away from heat sources or direct light. It is essential to avoid humid environments, such as the refrigerator, because humidity and cold favor sprouting and the formation of mold. Storing it in the fridge can compromise its structure, taste and chemical composition. A whole bulb stored correctly can last up to 8 weeks. A peeled clove should be consumed within 7 to 10 days. Don't let it rest after chopping it. A detail that makes a big difference: let the minced garlic rest for at least 10 minutes before cooking it. This time is needed for the allinase enzyme to fully activate and transform allicin into allicin. If you cook the garlic immediately after crushing it, the formation of allicin is interrupted and many benefits are lost. This is especially useful when garlic needs to be cooked. If it is eaten raw and chewed immediately, the enzyme is activated during chewing anyway, so resting is not necessary. Ignore possible drug interactions. Garlic, although natural, has an action very similar to that of some drugs. For example, it can act as an anticoagulant. For those taking blood-thinning drugs, taking garlic can amplify the effect and increase the risk of bleeding. The same goes for those taking medications for hypertension. Garlic can further lower blood pressure, with symptoms such as dizziness and weakness. It also has an impact on blood sugar. If you take medications for diabetes, there is a risk that your blood sugar levels will drop too low. For all these reasons, it is essential to speak with your doctor before introducing large amounts of garlic into your diet if you are already taking medications. Not knowing how to choose the freshest garlic. When buying garlic, it is important to pay attention to the appearance of the bulb. The ideal is to choose fleshy bulbs, with well-adherent skin, free of spots or sprouts. Pressing the bulb lightly can help evaluate its consistency. It must be firm and dry. Absolutely avoid bulbs that are too soft, with wrinkled skin or that have already sprouted. These are signs that the garlic is old and has lost a good part of its nutrients and aroma. Conclusion. Garlic is undoubtedly one of the most powerful and healthy foods we can bring to the table. But to really benefit from it, you need to know it and respect its characteristics. The little tricks explained above, such as not overcooking it, not consuming it whole, choosing the fresh product and knowing how to store it, can make a big difference. Sometimes, what seems like an insignificant detail is actually what determines whether we are eating a simple condiment or a true ally of our health. Knowing these mistakes allows you to use it consciously and take full advantage of all its extraordinary properties. And what mistakes do you make when using garlic? Write it in the comments. Remember that this video is for informational purposes only and should not replace your doctor. If you have any questions or concerns, please consult your doctor. If you liked the video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next content. See you in the next video.